friends, welcome. My name is Mrs. Googe, and I am a second grade teacher at Bluegrass Elementary. I want to welcome you to week 6 of our KCS at home learning. If this video is hard to understand, turn on closed captions if available, adjust the playback speed to slow down the video. Consider watching short clips, then pause, listen, and watch again. And finally, ask someone in your home to watch the video with you. Stop frequently and talk about what you heard and understood. Today, we will be decoding words with the OY pattern, the OI pattern, and some high frequency words. We will be rereading an I Can Read passage about Joy and Troy, those two characters. We will be rereading a sleuth passage titled Digging Deep about the layers of the earth. And then finally, at the end, I will share some extension ideas with you. Let's begin by reviewing the two patterns we also reviewed last week. The first pattern is the OY pattern, as in the word boy, so it's going to make the oi sound. Let's practice together. OY, boy, oi. Excellent. One more time. OY, boy, oi. Great job. The second pattern we will be reviewing is the OI pattern, as in the word oil. It is also going to make the oi sound. Let's review. OI, oil, oi. Good. One more time. OI, oil, oi. Excellent job. Digging a little bit deeper and thinking about where we would see these patterns used in words. The OY pattern, as in the word boy, will follow a consonant. Remember, a consonant is anything that is not a vowel, any letter that is not a vowel. It will also generally be found at the end of a word. So when we see OY in a word, it will generally be at the end, just like in the word boy. The OI pattern, as in the word oil, will generally be found in an initial or medial position. And all that means is that it will either be, usually, at the beginning or in the middle of a word. So keeping those things in mind, we're going to practice decoding some words together, starting with words that have the OY pattern, as in the word boy. First up, I see this word, and right at the beginning, a capital letter is catching my eye. Remember that when we see a capital letter, it means one of two things. It is either at the beginning of a sentence, or it's a proper noun, so a specific person, place, or thing. I know from reading the passage last week that this word is the name of a character, so a proper noun. Let's use our fingers, and we're going to tap out the sounds in the word to figure out what this character's name is. Okay, here we go. Oi, joy. Excellent. Up next, I see a pattern that we haven't practiced together, but I know you've learned it in second grade. The OW pattern, it's going to make the ow sound. And then the OY pattern, we know will make the oi sound. Let's tap it out. Here we go. K, ow, b, oi, cowboy. Great job. Up next, I see the OY pattern, like in the word boy. It's going to make the oi sound. Let's tap it out. T, oi, toy. Great job. Up next, I see a vowel right at the beginning. It's that vowel E. And I also see the OY pattern at the end. And it's going to make the oi sound. Let's tap it out. P, oi, employ. Great job. Last but not least in this column, I'm looking at the D and the E at the beginning. It's an open syllable, so that E is going to say its name. I also see our OY pattern at the end, so let's try it. Here we go. D, E, S, Destroy. Destroy. Wow, that's a long one. Great job. Okay, our next pattern, the OI pattern, is in the word oil. Remember, we'll also make that oi sound. Up next, I see a vowel towards the beginning. It's that vowel O. It's going to make the sound. And then I see our OI pattern, which is going to make the oi sound. Here we go. Fingers ready. T, oil, topsoil. Great job. Thinking about that word soil, it reminds me of a story we have read in second grade, which is titled Soil. In that story, remember, we learned that soil is just a fancy name for dirt. So topsoil is going to be the soil or the dirt that is on top. Excellent. I see our OI pattern again. Let's tap it out. Oil, foil. Great job. Okay, again, that OI pattern is in the medial position or in the middle of a word. Here we go. Coin. Great job. Again, that OI is in the medial position or in the middle of a word. Let's tap it out. Join. Great job. Last but not least, again, I see the OI pattern in the medial position. I also see the letters C and E at the end, and I know sometimes they can make the S sound just like the letter S would. Okay, let's tap it out. Voice. Excellent job. Okay, now we're going to take a look at some of our high frequency words that we are able to decode. We're going to start with the word that begins with the letter P. Can you see that word? We're going to tap out those sounds. Here we go. Push. Good. Say it again. Push. Excellent. Moving on to the letter or the word that begins with the letter W. Do you see it? Let's try it and tap it out. Here we go. World. Excellent. And then finally, this last word, we're looking at the open syllable at the beginning again. So I know that E is going to say its name. I see the C and the I. It's going to work together and say S. The I will say its name as well. And then the ED at the end will make the ed sound. Let's try it out. Here we go. Ed. Decided. Great job. Wow, that was hard work. Okay, now we are going to take a look at our I Can Read passage, and here's our purpose for reading that today. Today we are reading to practice our fluency. What I mean by that is that when we are reading for fluency, we are reading for accuracy to make sure we're reading the words correctly. We are reading to practice reading with appropriate rate, which means that you are reading at a pace that's not too fast and not too slow. It should sound just like you're talking to a friend. We are reading with expression, and we are reading to make sure that we are comprehending or understanding what we're reading. Okay, I'm going to read a paragraph at a time with you all, practicing those 4 things we mentioned, and then we will stop and ask questions along the way. Okay, here we go. Joy said to her friend Troy, "Wow, there is not a cloud in the sky. How about we go out and enjoy this beautiful day?" Did you hear how my voice went up and down? I challenge you after we're finished reading this passage to go back and reread again and listen to your voice and see if you can hear it go up and down. That is what we mean when we say reading with expression. Good, let's continue. Troy was a boy who was kind of a grouch. Joy, did that loud noise last night spoil your sleep? It annoyed me. I just want to sit on the couch. So can you tell from what Troy was saying why he's a grouch? What does that word grouch mean? Hmm, I'm kind of making a grouchy face or a mad face. So instead of being excited about the beautiful day like his friend Joy was, Troy didn't want to go out. He just wanted to do what? He just wanted to sit on the couch. Let's continue and see if he cheers up. Troy, you will enjoy being out, Joy said. We can go to the playground. That might be a good choice, Troy decided. Troy, I'm proud of you, Joy cheered. Okay, so why do you think Joy was proud of Troy? Hmm, maybe because he turned his day around and decided to go out and play. We can see in the illustration below, they both look pretty happy to me. He doesn't look very grouchy anymore, does he? Excellent job. Okay, so now we're going to review our essential question and our purpose for reading that sleuth passage that we read together last week. The essential question or questions for this unit are how do things change and how do they stay the same? So all unit long, we have been working to answer those questions. Our purpose for reading last week, if you can remember, was to learn about the layers of the earth. We needed to think about how the layers change and how they stay the same. A good sleuth, remember we are reading in our sleuth books. A good sleuth or a detective looks for clues, asks questions, makes their case, and prove it. These are also 4 things that good readers are always doing. Okay, here's that passage we read together last week titled Digging Deep. Remember, our job was to learn about how the layers of the earth change and how they stay the same. So today we are going to reread the passage and then we are going to take a look at our response to the writing prompt that we did. All right, I'm going to zoom right in on this first page. Beginning with the title, I'm going to read using those 4 things that we mentioned earlier when we're reading for fluency. Here we go. Digging deep. Do you think there is a lot of activity on Earth's surface? You should see what is going on below us. What happens deep in the earth can have a big effect on what happens where we live. Do you remember which layer of the earth that we live on? The layer we walk and live on is called the crust. It is Earth's thinnest layer. The thickest part of the crust is about 25 miles deep. The thinnest part is about 3 miles deep. That is at the bottom of the ocean. So I mentioned in the middle that the thinnest part of the Earth's crust is only 3 miles deep, and the thickest part is about 25 miles deep. What do you think about where we live? Do you think we live on a thick piece of the Earth's crust or a thin piece of the Earth's crust? Okay, let's continue on. Below the crust is a layer called the mantle. It is the thickest layer, almost 1,864 miles thick. Wow. It is much hotter than the crust. In fact, it is so hot that rocks can melt. Sometimes the melted rock can flow out onto the crust as lava. That's how volcanoes form. Under the mantle in Earth's center is a super hot core. The outer part of the core is liquid. The inner part is solid. Scientists think that heat rising up from the core may be one cause of earthquakes. They also think the inner core spins in place. It creates an invisible magnetic shield that protects us from the sun. Scientists keep digging to learn how these lower layers affect our world. Thinking about that part of the core that's spinning to protect us from the sun, why would we need to be protected from the sun? Hmm. Remember, the sun is super hot, and we as humans cannot live on the sun because it's so hot. So maybe by spinning in place, the core is protecting us from taking on too much heat. Okay, so let's think back to our writing prompt that I challenged you to answer. I asked you last week to explain how Earth's lower layers affect activity on the crust. Remember, the crust is where we live. So, how is what's going on below us affecting where we live? Remember, we needed to include a topic sentence, details to support your answer, and a conclusion sentence. So I'm going to share with you what I responded or how I responded to the text. And then we're going to take a closer look at my writing response and make sure that I have all of those components that a good second grade writing piece needs. Okay, I'm going to read my writing response and then I will reread one more time so we can take a closer look. Here we go. Earth's lower layers affect activity on the crust. One of Earth's lower layers, the mantle, is so hot that rock can melt and create lava. Lava will sometimes flow out onto the crust of the Earth, creating volcanoes. Both the inner and outer core are extremely hot. Heat that rises up from the core to the crust can cause earthquakes on the crust of the Earth. Activities that happen in Earth's lower layers can cause changes on the layer where we live. Okay, so now let's take a closer look. Remember, I needed to include a topic sentence, relevant details to support my answer, and then that conclusion sentence at the end. I'm going to read, and when you hear me say that topic sentence, I want you to say stop. Are we ready? Earth's lower layers affect activity on the crust. Stop. Did I introduce what I was writing about? Yes. Should my reader understand what they're about to listen and learn about? Absolutely. Okay, next I need those relevant details. Here we go. One of Earth's lower layers, the mantle, is so hot that rock can melt and create lava. Lava will sometimes flow out onto the crust of the Earth, creating volcanoes. Both the inner and outer core are extremely hot. Heat that rises up from the core to the crust can cause earthquakes on the crust of the Earth. Stop. I almost went on. All of those relevant details flowed nicely together. So they are all supporting what I am trying to share with my readers. Finally, I'm going to read and I want you to listen for that conclusion sentence that wraps things up. Here we go. Activities that happen in Earth's lower layers can cause changes on the layer where we live. Stop. Did I have that conclusion sentence? Absolutely. Okay, so here are the extension ideas I want to share with you. I want you to take a look at your very own writing response. And you're going to choose 3 colors to make sure that you have all of the components you need. I used red, green, and blue. Any 3 colors work, whatever you have available. So first, I want you to take a color. In my case, I used red, and I want you to highlight your topic sentence. You can do a squiggly line under it. You can highlight the whole sentence, whatever works. Second of all, I want you to highlight those relevant details or on-topic details, the ones you pulled from the text and put in your writing to help support your answers. I chose the color green. You can choose another color and highlight or underline or whatever works. And then finally, you're going to do the same thing, but for the conclusion sentence, choose a different color. If you have all 3 colors on your writing response, you did an awesome job and you have all 3 of those components. Remember, as you're checking your writing for those 3 main components, I also want you to look for neat handwriting. Do you have finger spaces, punctuation, and does your writing make sense? Another extension idea. You can continue researching the layers of the Earth to determine or find out if scientists have made any new discoveries. Some resources you can use to research are Epic, Pebble Go, or any other resources on your school's library media sites. I would love to hear and see and learn more about those layers of the earth. They're extremely interesting, and I hope you found them interesting as well. I challenge you to work on those 2 extension ideas. Okay, so let's recap and talk about what all we've learned. We decoded OY, OI, and high frequency words. We read an I Can Read passage using those good reading skills for fluency. We reread a sleuth passage, and then we took a deeper look into our extension idea from last week, and we even have a new extension idea for this week. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed learning alongside me, and I hope that you and your loved ones continue to stay safe, happy, and healthy. Thank you.